Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will start from the architecture of 80386. In last lecture, we have also discussed the architecture diagram of 80386. So, what we have studied in last lecture, architecture has three sections of 80386: central processing unit, memory management unit, and bus interface unit. Then again, central processing unit we divided into two sections, execution unit and instruction unit. And memory management unit again we divided into two parts, segmentation unit and paging unit. And last one is bus interface unit. So this is a three section. So these are the three sections of 80386 architecture. In last class we discussed central processing unit when we divided into two parts, execution unit and instruction unit. Then in instruction unit, what we do, basically we prefetch the instruction and we perform the pre-decoding thing. In advance, we can fetch 3 instructions at a time. So this is the prefetch. The instruction unit, what we do, instruction unit basically perform the prefetching and pre-decoding part and pre-decoding operation. Prefetching means fetch the address of the next instruction, and decoding means what operation we have to perform on the data. So these things basically we done by the instruction unit. Then the control transfer to the execution unit. Whatever data we decoded, we transfer to the execution unit, and we study that this thing in execution unit, it contains the barrel shifter register, multiply divide logic and registers. So barrel shifter register basically we are using for execution speed. If we use barrel shifter register, so we can shift multiple bit at a time. By using this thing, we speed up the operation. Same thing happened with the divide and addition logic. So these things basically we are using for speed up operations. So this is the task of the execution unit. Then memory management unit. Memory management unit we divided into segmentation part and paging part. Segmentation part basically focus on the logical address conversion into linear address conversion. So this is the first part of address translation mechanism when we convert logical address into physical address. Basically address translation mechanism we divided into two parts, segmentation part and paging part. Paging part is optional part because it depends on the PG bit which reside into control register 0. If PG bit is set to 1, in that case we will perform paging unit or page translation mechanism. Otherwise we will perform only segmentation unit or segment translation mechanism. Then what we do in a segment translation mechanism and what we do in paging unit or page translation mechanism. In segment translation mechanism or segmentation unit, we convert logical address into linear address. Logical address basically contain two parts, selector part and offset field. Selector part is a 16-bit field and offset part. So in that case basically what selector do, selector point out the descriptor table to find out the particular descriptor. Then this descriptor provide the base address, and when we combine this base address with the offset value, then you convert your logical address into linear address. So this is a part of segment translation unit or segmentation unit. So this is the first thing. Second, segmentation unit provides the protection at the segmentation level. And third, it checks the attribute and PLA field. Then paging unit. Paging is the optional part because it depends on the PG bit which reside into control register 0. If PG bit is set to 0, in that case your paging unit will be disabled and your linear address is behave like a physical address. Means we will not convert your linear address into physical address. But if your paging bit is set to 1, in that case we will convert linear address into physical address. So this is the work of page translation mechanism or paging unit. So paging unit basically convert linear address into physical address and it provides the protection at the page level and it control the PLA field again. Then bus interface unit. Bus interface unit basically resolve the priority of the request, because if you are working in a multitasking environment, means so many tasks you will perform at the same time. In that case you will decide the priority of the task, means which task you will perform first and which task you will perform last or next one. So basically bus interface unit resolve the priority of the task. Then, memory organization and segmentation. The physical memory of 80386 system is organized as a sequence of 8-bit byte field. Each byte is assigned a unique address that range from 0 to the power 32 minus 1. The model of memory organization determined by system software designer. So, this is the organization of memory. Every field is a 8-bit byte field, and you will start your address range from 0 to the power 32 minus 1 because you start 0. That's why your last address will be to the power 32 minus 1 because you have a total 4 gigabyte of memory space. To the power 30, what is mean? 30 means to the power 30 means gigabyte and 4. So to the power 2 means 4. To the power 2 into to the power 30, that means to the power 32 and equal to 4 gigabyte. So when you will start from 0, so that's why your last address will be to the power 32 minus 1. Then two model basically you are using for the memory, flat model and segmented model. So what you do in a flat model, basically for the proper utilization of memory, we divide your memory space into parts, and these parts basically we call segment. In a flat memory model, we did not, your memory space we did not divide into parts. So this is a flat memory model, single area of up to 4 gigabyte, and a pointer into this flat address space is a 32-bit ordinal number that may range from 0 to the power 32 minus 1. The next one is a segmented memory model. In a segment memory model, collection of up to 16,383 linear address space means total number of address space will be 16,383 viewed by a application programmer because it depends on the designer, it depends on the software engineer how you divide your memory address space. The processor maps 64 terabyte logical address space onto physical address space, that is 4 gigabyte, by the address translation mechanism. Here, because your physical address space is 4 gigabyte, your logical address space is 64 terabyte. That's why you have to perform the mapping from logical to physical. And in that case, you will use a segment translation mechanism or address translation mechanism. In an address translation mechanism, again you will perform two mechanisms, segmentation and paging, that we have discussed earlier in this lecture, in the starting of this lecture. Then each of these linear subspace is called a segment. A segment is a unit of contiguous address space. Segment size may range from 1 byte up to maximum to the power 32 bytes. What does that mean? Here total number of segment can be 16,383 and your logical address space is a 64 terabyte and physical address space is 4 gigabyte. That's why you have to perform the mapping from logical to physical. And the part, when you divide your memory into different parts or into different field, so these field or this part basically we called a segment, and segments can be variable size, means minimum size of your segment can be 1 byte or maximum size of your segment can be to the power 32 bytes or 4 gigabyte. Basically it depends on the application what is your segment size. So that's why we are saying it depends on the software designer. You divide your memory space into different type of segments and the segment size depends on your application or it depends on the software designer choice. Now, memory organization in segments. A complete pointer in this address space consists of two parts, segment part and offset part. Your offset field is a 32-bit field and segment, basically we can say that it is a selector field. So selector field, when you combine with your offset field, then you find out the operand. So a segment selector, which is a 16-bit field that identify a segment, and offset, which is a 32-bit ordinal that address to the byte level within a segment. What does that mean? Basically, your logical address you divide it into two fields, segment field and offset field. Here in this diagram you can see your segment field or selector field is a 16-bit field and offset field is a 32-bit field. Selector field basically contain the address or contain the information about the particular segment descriptor. That segment descriptor provide the base address. When we add this base address with the offset value, then you can find out the particular operand, or we can say that here you convert your logical address into linear address. Then execution unit, data types. Here in this diagram you can see the units, execution unit or data type: byte, word, double byte. Byte is your 8-bit field, word is your 16-bit field, and double word is your 32-bit field. Then memory organization and segmentation. Here in this diagram you can see memory arrangement and data into the memory. How you arrange the data and how you read the data. So here you can see the diagram. We arrange the address range from 0 to capital E, and every field is a 8-bit wide field. Then if you wanted to read the address, if you wanted to read the data, for example here you can see this one, word at address B contain FE06, means you wanted to read a word. Every field is a 8-bit byte field, and when you combine the two field, so it will basically behave like a 16-bit field or word. If you combine 4 contiguous address space, then it will behave like a double word. So if you wanted to read word at address B is this. So if you wanted to read word means 16-bit field. So you will start from here, FE06. So at address B, basically what data you have? FE06. If you wanted to talking about word, if you wanted to talking about only byte, what is the byte at address B? Contain 06 only. If you wanted to talking about word at address A, so word at address A will be 0636. Then here you can see word at address 6. So word at address 6 will be 230B. Byte at address 6 will be only 0B. So like that you will read the content from the memory. Then registers. 80386 has 8 32-bit general purpose register which may be used as either 8-bit, 16-bit or 32-bit register. A 32-bit register known as an extended register is represented by the register name with prefix capital E. Means your 80386 has 8 32-bit general purpose register, and these register we can use as a 8-bit register, as a 16-bit register or as a 32-bit register. Then for example your accumulator register. Accumulator register, if you are to talking about 16-bit, so 16-bit accumulator register you will represent it by a AX. If you wanted to represent 8-bit accumulator register, then in that case you will represent via AL or AH, means lower part of AX register or higher part of AX register. If you wanted to represent 32-bit accumulator register, in that case you will use prefix capital E. So in that case your accumulator register you will represent it by capital E AX. So extended version you are using for representing a 32-bit register. So the general purpose register of 386 are AAX, EBX, ECX, DX, base pointer, stack pointer, source index and destination index. So these are your general purpose register. EAX is the accumulator register, EBX base register, ECX counter register, EDX data register, EBP base pointer, ESP stack pointer, ESI source index and EDI destination index register. Then BP, SP, SI and DI represent the lower 16-bit of their 32-bit counterparts and can be used as independent 16-bit register. Means if you are talking about the extended version of this register, then you will write like EBP, ESP, ESI or EDI. If you wanted to use as a 16-bit register, so in that case you can use this register as a 16-bit register, 16-bit independent register. In that case you will write like BP, SP, SI or DI, means base pointer, stack pointer, source index and destination index register. Then next point, the 16-bit flag register is available along with 32-bit counterpart E flag register. Your E flag register is a 32-bit register, but if you are talking about only flag register, so it is a 16-bit field. Then BP, SP, SI, DI represent the lower 16-bit of their 32-bit counterparts and can be used as independent register. The point is same like first one. So in this diagram you can see from 0 to 31 your 32-bit register, and in that case your accumulator register is like a EAX. When you divide into two parts, so first part is a 16-bit field and second part is also a 16-bit field. Then again you divide it. You can see here 0 to 31 is your 32-bit register. You divide it into two parts. This is a 16-bit field and second part is also a 16-bit field. Then again this 16-bit field you divide it into two parts, 8 or 8-bit part. So when you see, this is your 16-bit part and 16-bit part is like a AX accumulator register. When this accumulator register you divide it into two parts, accumulator register AL or accumulator register AL, means this is the higher part of your AX and this is the lower part of your AX. So you can use this register as an independent 8-bit, 16-bit or 32-bit register. Then flag register. So flag register we will discuss into the next lecture, because this topic is again related to different fields, related to status of your machine and bits. Basically we discuss the bits into the flag register, and which is important for the other register also. So that's why we will discuss into next lecture. Thank you.